Okay, so welcome to today's show. And for those of you that are just meeting me, my name is Ken Edmonds. On this channel and on this podcast, I interview people that can help you grow your business in a variety of different ways, help you overcome challenges. Today with me, I've got Christian Lovrecich, who is a digital marketing expert. And Christian, you want to give us a little bit of your background and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I've been in digital marketing for over 10 years. I come from a background of sales and marketing. Before that, I started in the brick and mortar side of things. And then back in the day, when the economy crashed in 2010, I decided to go full digital. And I have built a few e-commerce brands. I sold some of those for a nice exit. And then people kept asking for my help with marketing their business. So I've been doing that for a while. And then I have a YouTube channel where I teach everything about Facebook ads, digital marketing, and a podcast called Pixel Feed. And here we are today.
Okay. So I want to go to your YouTube channel for just a minute because you said something that sounded really interesting. You said you teach people what they need to know about Facebook advertising, and you do that for free?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's for free, 100% free. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very good example of being generous with your knowledge. And of course, you're here free, and it's nice of you to be here to share.
Also about knowing your market. I know there's people out there that need my help. Well, like when I started, I had a lot of questions, but we didn't have all the information that we have today. So I put the content out there, so my name gets out there. And if somebody's looking for somebody to help them, they can find me. But the people that I work with, they're not going to do it themselves. They're going to pay somebody like me and my small team to take care of it for them.
Yeah. And that's really an interesting perspective because there are people that like to do it themselves. There are other people that want you to do it with you, or they want you to do it for them. And we're going to come back to Pixel in a little bit in Facebook because I want to really focus in on that. Let me start with YouTube because I am a huge fan. And I talk a lot to people that are operating in the copying industry and the office equipment space. In that space, it's typically business to business sales. And the one thing that I encourage everybody to do more of than they do is to use YouTube, because what I see is what they have is maybe YouTube commercials, and they might have YouTube like bells and whistles videos about the equipment, but they don't capitalize on social media from this perspective of sharing their customer stories and providing information that's helpful to their customers. What do you think of that as a strategy?
YouTube is a lot of work. People don't realize how much work goes into YouTube. Before you can get some traffic on YouTube, unless you make a viral video from day one and it goes viral, it's really tough to start to get traffic on YouTube. Listen, I know what I'm doing. My stuff is very niche down because it's all business, how to do digital marketing, Facebook ads. It's not something that everyone watches on YouTube. It's a lot of consistency. You got to be putting out videos 2 to 3 times a week. Be consistent with it. You got to know how to rank. You got to know how to do the search engine optimization, how to do the thumbnails and all that good stuff. And then you'll start getting some traffic. Now, if you're a small business or you're in sales and you're not going to do it consistently, you're not, because most people don't. They give up because they see that they're not going to get any traffic for 6 months to a year. It's okay to do it on Facebook or Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram, and you post in there, and then you can do as little as boosting a post for $1 a day or $5 a day and run a video of you talking about what to a 5-mile radius locally of the customers that you're looking for. And then it's a 24-hour commercial that runs 7 days a week and never stops. People don't realize that.
Okay. So you're obviously a fan of Facebook and Facebook ads. And you mentioned something just now that I wasn't really aware of let me rephrase it, I hadn't thought about. Because I have studied a little bit about Facebook and some of their focusing ability, but I didn't realize how specific you can be. So you could target like a 5-mile radius or maybe a zip code.
Absolutely. You can target down to the street address. You can target to people who are married, single, with kids, without kids, how much money they make, what kind of car they drive, college education, what job, what hobbies are they into? Are they into like basketball, football? Who's their favorite celebrity? That's why Zuggs gets in trouble all the time, because they have all this data. You can't see it per individual. It's not like I can go in there and, hey, let me pull up Ken's data. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, they have all that data on you, just like Google and all of them.
Okay. And could you target like a specific business?
Yeah. So if you're looking to target a specific business, like if you're trying to go after a client, you can actually set an ad to run to their street address in a 1 mile radius, and they'll see your ad all day long.
Okay. You have an example of how that might be used?
Yeah, sure. So for example, if you guys are doing copiers, right? Okay, so if you're trying to sell a copy machine, you find out who your client is, right? So I will create 4 videos. I will create 3 videos offering value on what it is, the product that you sell, or how they should be used. I'm not selling them, but you just talk about the process. This copier, it's the best one because blah, 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 but you don't sell them. And then you can put the next video to show up and offering more valuable content. And then the 4th video, you put them in a sequence. And then the 4th video, you ask for the sale by giving you a call or giving you their email address. And then you can target their specific street address using Facebook, and they'll see your ad all day long in their place of business. Actually, every time they open their phone, whether they're on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, or online. What a lot of people didn't realize is that Facebook owns a lot of real estate online. So when you open an article like on Fox News or CNN, like your ad is inside their website.
Yeah, I had noticed that I see a lot of ads customized for me. I had not necessarily realized why those wound up there.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how anybody that knows what they're doing, that's how we target you. So based on the marketing angle that we choose, I can choose the target and go along with it. So if I want to target people who, like I'm in Florida, when I went to Florida State before I dropped out from college. So if I want to target the Florida State fans who like, I don't know, a certain car, let's say I'm selling a Mercedes, just to throw a car out there. I will do a maroon Mercedes because that's the Florida State colors. And then I will use some kind of copy that's targeted towards Florida State fans. You know what I mean? So now there's like a bigger connection. It's like, oh, I like Florida State and I like that color because I went to Florida State and they're speaking directly to me. So there's an emotional connection there. And so the ad works a lot better.
Okay. So let me ask you about this as an idea. So let's say I was targeting hospitals. Mm-hmm. And I had a client that we've been taking care of their hospital, providing them with support. And this particular client, has given me a testimonial, and I'm a fan of video testimonials. So you could take that video testimonial from the client that works in the hospital and talks about how well you've taken care of that, and then target that ad to other hospitals in your area.
Absolutely. Yes. So you grab that video. We do it all the time with e-commerce products and stuff where we run reviews as an ad itself. Yeah. So if you're targeting other hospitals, you grab that video and you send that video out in an ad to their street address of the hospital that you're targeting that you want it, and it will show it to everybody in that building every time they open their phone.
Oh, wow. That would be pretty powerful. Is every time you looked up, another hospital, you saw somebody talking about how well this company did it. And so then you would just fit that into a sequence of ads.
Yes, you can but the way I will personally do it, I will do a sequence of ads where it's like value. Then I ask for the sale. Then the click, they will go to what we call a sales funnel, which is a landing page that is asking for their information for us to contact them. And once they go into the funnel, they can go in there, answer a few questions so we can pre-qualify the lead. And then there's an option to schedule a call on the calendar. And then they get an appointment, and then you get on a sales call with them and hopefully close them.
Oh, wow. So in other words, you let the client qualify themselves, tell you how to get a hold of them, and pick a time when they want to see you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you pre-qualify them. Yeah. And Facebook is very powerful. I can tell Facebook, hey, I'm looking for people who are most likely to schedule a call. And I put that in the ad. There's a section in there where I can select that as my objective. And then Facebook is pretty good about it. Like right now I'm doing a campaign for a company that they offer web development services, developers. And we're getting like scheduled calls, like $20, $23 a scheduled call, and each call is worth them around $1,500 minimum.
So very good. And again, like I said, I appreciate you educating me, because I knew there was a lot of power in what you could do, but I had just skimmed the surface. I'm going to have to go to your YouTube channel, and we'll give that information at the end of this, because I'm sure other people are going to be like, oh, wow, that's really powerful. So let's say that again. So again, put yourself in the mindset of I'm a brick and mortar copier dealer. I want to grow my sales. You think that the approach you would recommend is to take targeted ads based on what the, I keep putting my hand in front of my face here, but
it's fine.
Targeted ads and put it into either the zip codes that have a lot
I would
of
create, this is what I would do. We'll create a video daily offering value. So top 5 ways to keep your copier running, top 5 ways so your copier doesn't get jammed. I don't know much about copiers. And I would just record a video a day, throw them out there, and then put a couple bucks behind it in a 5-mile radius in your city or whatever. Or you can target the specific hospital you're going after, or the specific client. But I'm sure somebody in sales, they have a territory. So I would just select the whole territory, whatever that is, the zip code, the city, or whatever. And listen, it's an investment. So yeah, you're paying $1 a day or $2 a day per video, but it's compounding interest, because the more videos you make, the more they're going to show up in front of the right people. And then eventually they're going to contact you. You'll see it. It's just, if you just let it run and forget about it, set, you make X amount of money a month, grab some of that money. You're in sales, man. You're in it for yourself. Like, you should put a budget for marketing and be the number 1 salesperson for your company. This is how you do it. This is how I did it back in the day. I always marketed myself. I didn't care I was working for somebody else when I was young. It's like, how can I get to number 1 and make the most money? This is how, and that's how I got into marketing. So it's compounding interest. You put a video a day, you put a couple bucks behind each video in a 5-mile radius. Let's say that's your territory. Guess what? It gets to a point where you have 30 videos running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everybody, your perfect customer opens their phone. You're going to be in front of them. So when they need a copier, guess who they're going to call? The person that's in front of them 24 hours a day, no matter what.
Yeah, I love that. And that is so powerful, because I want to go back to, this would have been Jay Conrad Levinson's book, Guerrilla Marketing, which was one of my first books that I read about business when I was starting my dealership. That would have been 30 years ago. So I put it in perspective. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But he talked about the fact that customers have to see you. I want to say at that time he said about 10 to 12 times, before they really start to have some brand association.
Now the average amount of touch points with all the digital media, because there's so much stuff coming at us, the average number of touch points is 27 touch points before they buy from you. Now, there's not to say that we get sales all day, every day from impulse buyers, because yeah, we do. If you put everybody into a pool of people like the whole US, the average is 27 touch points before they buy something.
All right. Yeah. So that says a lot about the value of having very targeted and not necessarily high budget, but very targeted ads. And again, they can be very simple. I know a gentleman that does a very good job just with his phone. He'll do his phone in his car. He does his phone in his office, just shoots little short videos. And so those are great ways to start. And then, like I said, you could have each salesman could target their own, look at their territory. Where do I sell? Where do I want to sell? What's my ideal client? What am I looking for? Because maybe you're looking for law firms. So, for example, a company that specializes in a legal vertical, they could target all the lawyers in town.
Yeah, but if you're selling copiers, anybody can be your customer, any business. So I would just do whatever your territory is. You can actually select the city, the zip code, or you can select an address and then drop a pin for 10 miles in a circle of Fort Lauderdale. I drop the pin in the middle of Fort Lauderdale downtown, and then I open it up to 5 miles or 10 miles, and it will cover that whole area. So that's how I would do it. I wouldn't try to get complicated and be like hospitals, lawyers, and this and that. No, man, just throw your videos out there or your posts, and then just select like a 10-mile radius, 5-mile radius, and then go from there. Start small and then open it up as you expand, as you grow.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. That'll be very helpful to the audience. And so you mentioned you have a YouTube. You want to give us the information, and for those you can find that are listening or watching on YouTube, you'll be able to find his contact information in the description or in the show notes. So I'll put links there to him. But go ahead and give us the name for your channel again.
Yeah, the name of the channel is Pixel Feed, Pixlfed. So you just search Pixel Feed or my name, Christian Lovrecich, and it'll come up. I have 180 videos on there. About 80 of them, I think it's just Facebook ads. And then the rest are digital marketing. Some of them are like my podcast, which is Pixel Feed Radio, where I interview, entrepreneurs who have built businesses from 0 to millions, depending on who it is, how we did it with marketing and sales. And then if you have an e-commerce store or brand and you're already doing 6 figures in sales and you want to take it to the next level, 7, 8, 9 with the power of digital marketing and ads, look for pixelfeedmedia.com. We only work with a few select clients a year, depending if it's a good match or not. So you got to apply on there and we'll take a look at your stuff. And if we feel like it's a good match, we'll bring you on.
Okay. Well, very nice. Thank you very much, Christian. I've really appreciated you being on the show today. Again, for those that haven't subscribed, please do me a favor, subscribe, hit the like button. That way YouTube will share it with others. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.